All right, sticking with the utilities, electric rates are going up in the middle of the pandemic. Is that right? NBC 10's Tamara Sakarzik went to find out.
Well, the short answer is yes. The Public Utilities Commission could have deferred the rate increase, but it decided not to.
The timing is awful. The economic situation is dire.
State Representative Julie Casimiro sounding off over the price of electricity after the Public Utilities Commission approved a National Grid rate increase, tacking about $10 onto your bill for the next 5 months.
Because you have people working from home, trying to help their kids with distance learning, struggling to pay their bills, and you want to put this on their back. Right? I mean, it's the timing could not be worse.
Thomas Kogut is the spokesman for the Division of Public Utilities and Carriers. He says this latest increase represents the price of electricity on the market, impacting the standard offer rate or the energy portion of your bill. National Grid doesn't profit from it.
National Grid goes out for bids over a 2-year period for this 6-month period that's now in place. They then present those numbers to the division and the commission for their review. They're reviewed and approved based on that filing.
If the numbers match up, the commission can't legally deviate from the requested rate, but they do have the power to defer the increase.
A deferral does have a benefit. It also has a detriment.
The downside, it would have prevented the usual drop in rates we see in April.
Did they think about the fact that we may be in a better position with the pandemic come spring and it might be easier on consumers?
Well, the other thing, too, is the concern ultimately that most consumers, residential consumers, are using more energy in the summer months. So most will benefit by those lower rates in the summer months.
But they didn't really consider what could happen with the pandemic in the future months. It was more based off of what you have seen happen.
Certainly there was concern, obviously, about where we are right now in the fall of 2020 with the pandemic, but also a concern with where the economy may be going forwards.
I uncovered that wasn't the only factor that stopped the deferral. In its PUC filing, National Grid cites concerns over what's called community choice aggregation likely starting next year. Communities could start buying electricity from third parties, and that would raise rates for remaining National Grid customers.
So in other words, there's another procurement option that's going to be coming down the road.
Rhode Islanders can also get their electricity from a different supplier, which may be why the PUC failed to defer the electric rate increase, but weeks later did defer 50% of National Grid's gas rate increase. Casimiro believes they could have held off on both.
This is a global pandemic, and they know the situation in Rhode Island. They know what Rhode Islanders are going through and what the unemployment rate is, and I think they could have done a better job pushing this off a little bit.
National Grid told me they do offer several options for anyone facing financial trouble. I'll tell you about those tomorrow night at 5 right here on NBC 10. In the studio, Tamara Sakarzik, NBC 10 News.